Thank you for joining us on Black Investments Matter. I'm Antoine Anderson, and we are talking about the future of XRP as a payment system in the continental U.S. Let's get into it. After the SEC's case against Ripple failed, the floodgates instantly went up that day, doubled in price from 40 to 80 cents or 90 cents that day. A lot of people were made rich if they were heavily invested in it at the time. Since that time, prices come back down to around 50 cents a token. But as this year approached and as we're going forward, with most of XRP's transactional cost being done outside of the US, there is a push now to bring XRP back onto the fold into the US as a viable payment system between banks and institutions. This is a good thing, as it is now recognized as a serious contender to the existing transaction days and delays that exist here between banks, with the promise of faster settlement times to cure debts. This is the key advantage of XRP, and let's talk about some others. Now, there are three main advantages that XRP has over the other two major cryptocurrencies, and I'm speaking of Bitcoin and Ethereum. But let's talk about those differences first. First, with Bitcoin, we have probably the slowest of the three in terms of transaction speeds, how fast the transactions can be settled. Now, even with Bitcoin, it is leaps and bounds faster than anything we have on the market today. Settlement times on current banking systems are 1 to 3 business days and sometimes longer than that. However, with Bitcoin and other blockchain technology related transactions systems, Bitcoin is 20 minutes. So you initiate a transfer of funds and those funds are settled, cross a ledger and verified within 20 minutes. It also has a relatively low transaction cost fee. The fee ranges between 6 and 60 cents. One of the disadvantages of it, however, and one that XRP does not share, is the fact that this is a proof of work network, meaning that it is done by cryptocurrency miners. That was the thing that got me into cryptocurrency, because we were able to make money as miners on each of those transactions by receiving a share of that block reward. However, the requirement to run those machines comes at a heavy environmental cost. Electricity is not clean, no matter how you cut it. Being that it's not carbon neutral, the electricity that we get from a lot of these machines comes from our grid, which is still, by and large, not a carbon neutral place. We're getting there with solar technology, but because of that fact, Bitcoin kind of fell out of favor. And those are the key aspects that make Bitcoin not a viable candidate for this new upcoming payment system. Well, what about Ethereum? Well, Ethereum does not use proof of work, it uses proof of stake. Now, proof of stake is a very different consensus mechanism, whereas the validators or owners of the network, the people are actually getting paid, be it oracles or however they're terming those individuals, they are paid by the use of gas fees. This gas fee is the cost of transacting on that network, and it varies from time to time. The cost on using this as a payment settlement system far outstrips any of the other two. It is extremely expensive. It can range from a fraction of a cent, like a 1/1000th of a cent, to over $100 per transaction using this blockchain technology, this consensus mechanism. It is not viable in that regard. However, the transaction speeds are, it's anywhere from 8 to 10 seconds in settlement time, making it the second fastest network. It doesn't come without its downsides. Those transaction fees with the gas fees are so unpredictable. It just does not seem like this is going to be a viable option. When looking at it in comparison to the other two, It just seems like, although it may be a number two runner up, it'll never get the adaptation in the United States as we would need to make this a viable solution to the current banking system. Finally, XRP and why it is the hands down contender to get this adaptation across the board in the United States. First of all, it's owned by Ripple. Ripple is currently already in our banking systems, primarily being used by the number two bank, Bank of America, already as a way to verify the transactions that are already on the book. With XRP Ripple, the settlements will change from the days that it takes currently to 4 seconds per transaction, with the possibility of transferring or completing 1,500 transactions per second. That is speed incarnate when compared to the other two, Bitcoin and Ethereum. With that said, transaction speeds are its number two advantage over the other two. The number one is its incredibly low cost. Its scalability being one thing, but the cost per transaction is less than a fraction of a penny, a thousandth of a penny right now. As it is going to be adapted sooner rather than later, and as we're finding out, by the end of 2024, we may start seeing XRP as a backbone to the payment system, which has already been instituted by FedNow, the federal same day instant transaction system that is going now, that is underway now. It is a great time to be involved in this. XRP has two other differences, being that they are not proof of work like Bitcoin, and it's not proof of stake like Ethereum. There are no gas fees with XRP. So the fees are what you see, what you get. And that reason alone is one of the things that will make early adaptation and you understanding what's coming can actually benefit you and make you more aware to take advantage of opportunities.